Hello, hello, hello. Give me 1 second, you guys. I thought I was ready and I wasn't ready. Aha. Let me connect my mic. All right, let me know if you can hear me, if you can put a one in the chat or whatever. I don't know where Butterfly is, but I did send her the information. Let me see if she got it. Hey Shayna, I was trying to pull up as much information as I could. Thank you, Shayna. I may have to make you a mod tonight, honey, because I don't see nobody in the chat. In fact, let me see if I can do that. I don't see how I can't do it. I have to go into your comments and do it. I don't know where Butterfly is. Let me send her a message. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I didn't want to keep putting it off. I was trying to get some information. I was trying to make sure I had enough information to put out there. Let me go and see. Shayna, if you don't mind, go up under one of my stories and let me mod you up real quick, if you don't mind. It could be any post that you see out there. The first one you see, just post something under. The one about Dr. Cheyenne would be perfect. That way I want to mod you up fast so I can have somebody to, block people if possible. Because I don't know where everybody else is. Butterfly said she was coming. So I sent her a message. So hopefully she'll join. Hopefully she will join. But you guys, this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville was super, super interesting. I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. Let me put the link in the comment section. Hey, all of Unity. Uh-oh. Did I put the right thing? Yeah, there we go. But when I tell you that this episode had a lot going on, it had a lot going on. I don't see a comment. Keep saying I have a comment there. Where is said comment? It's not there yet. Okay. It had a lot going on. I will say that. From the very fact of the beginning where we start out with last episode where Destiny gets up and she walks out. Okay, let me look and see if I can find it. You guys, give me a second. Let me put y'all on some music while I find this, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. Hey, you guys. I don't know if you guys saw me. I was over here running my mouth. I cut the music off and everything. Let's start at some pleasantries. Hello, Shayna. She said once she could hear me. Hey, Brown Girls Rocks. She said, okie dokie. Shayna, I went ahead and modded you up. All in Unity, welcome to the live. I appreciate you guys. I did send Butterfly a link early this morning, and she still has not responded, child. I do not know. Symmetry, good evening, everyone. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please, please, please. In fact, I have a little, I created a poll for you guys. Have you hit that like button? That is the question of the day. Have you hit the like button? Yes, thank you so much, Symmetry, for joining. I didn't have any mods, and you know, these people kind of get a little wild when they come down to this Love and Marriage Huntsville sector. So please make sure that you're hitting the like button. Remember, all views expressed in this live, they're all alleged, and they are, in my opinion, and they're all for entertainment purposes. Let me close the door to my office because I hear the club just opened up downstairs. Yes, I just heard the club come on. So, child, I don't know what time it is, but we do know that the club pops on at a certain time around this joint. At a certain time. Y'all hold on one second. I got a call coming in on my work phone. Child, when I tell you these folks be tripping, they tripping. Child, when you work for a certain people, we have to make sure our emergency information is updated at least once a month. So they done popped in with an emergency update. Child, like mine is already updated. I always check mine. So anywho, let's get forward. Let me put my phone on silence, all of them, and let me turn them all upside down so I can see them when they start ringing. Anywho, Shayna, you still haven't accepted that. Hello, everyone. Come in, have a seat, get ready for the good content. Shayna, you have to tap on it where it says accept. Because I know I sent it to you, but you have to accept it. Let me make sure that I send it to you one more time. Okay, you're on there. Oh, there you go. I see it now. So anyway, y'all, this episode was wild. But I believe as I listened to the end of the episode, I got a better understanding, and I hope you guys can follow along with what I got. I don't think it's probably going to be what I originally thought, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Anywho, all views expressed in this live, they are all alleged, and they're all in my opinion. This is all for entertainment purposes. Don't go out of your way to dislike anybody we're going to be talking about, or I'm going to be talking about, because baby, it's not worth it. Please comment, like. There is a poll going out. Have you hit that like button? Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I am new, but I am hopefully hitting the ground on my feet running. For our use disclaimer, some material in this video is used under U.S. copyright fair use section 107 for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and educating. If you don't mind, please hype up this video. There are several options that you could, if you wanted to, support the channel. But what I want the most right now is subscribers. What I want the most is people's engagement. That is what I want the most of everything. It's people's engagement, and I want subscribers. So share the channel. Remember, for some material in this video is used under U.S. copyright fair use for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. We're going to do a lot of commentary, a whole lot of criticism, and hopefully we can educate each other on the foolishness that was down there to the Love and Marriage Huntsville this week, because baby, they was foolish this past Saturday. A lot of foolishness. And so let me see if I can find. I want to paste the StreamYard, so just in case somebody wants to hit the link, you're more than welcome. So y'all, this is my slogan. That sounds like bullshit to me. So if you see that pop up, that's exactly how I feel about what I'm talking about. because a lot of stuff do be sounding like bull swanky to me. It just does. She said, don't forget to hype. Yes, please don't forget to hype up the live when the live is over. Please and thank you. Yes. And if you're watching it by replay, just type in hashtag replay gang, and that'll bring others to the episode. I really, really appreciate it. So let's get started. So the episode actually opens where it left off last week, when Destiny returning to the table with Nell. And now I said it last week when I did my review that I felt like Destiny was going to come back to the table, and she does. Nell apologizes to Destiny because she was wrong bringing Destiny into our house and bringing her into this mess. She was definitely wrong, and I think Nell understood how wrong she really was and how foolish it made her look. Regardless of what anybody says, Nell looked foolish, and it was definitely wrong. Destiny shares her feelings with Nell, and Destiny says that she's glad that she and Nell have resolved this issue because it was unnecessary. If I'm your friend, please do treat me like I would treat you. And I believe that in all actuality, Nell was not treating Destiny the way that she would want to be treated. Destiny explained to Nell that the information she brought to her was told to her directly from Twan, and she thought it wasn't true because Twan said it was a rumor, right? So she thought, in all actuality, this is not true. Destiny said she wants Kayla to not feel any way about her. She wants them to be cool because she actually likes Kayla. And Nell said that she, in fact, was upset that Twan lied because it pissed her off. And I really think that this conversation was very productive. When I say it was productive, this is what you want when you sit down with someone and you apologize. Now, all that stuff Nell was saying, I'm not going to say it again. I don't know what that was about. But I believe Nell realized how silly she was looking because she looked really, really silly. Nell said that Twan said they were chilling and Kayla said they were dating. It's all confusing. Destiny says she felt out of place dealing with the Fletcher family mess. And Destiny told her that she adores Kayla and she doesn't want anything to happen between them because she wants Kayla to really look at her probably like a big sister. And Nell says, of course, that it pissed her off that Twan lied, but he was her godson and she loves him. And Destiny said, well, she said they were dating. He may not be the only one on her roster. And I totally agree. Kayla probably has other guys that she is, dating. Hopefully she does. Hopefully she ain't putting all her eggs in one basket. If she if she understands what that looks like, hopefully she's not just putting all of her eggs in one basket. And Nell said at the end of the day, Kayla and Twan are adults. And she's more concerned about her relationship with Destiny and where that puts them. And I appreciated that. Destiny said that she found it odd and wanted to know why she was there. And Nell said, because Destiny is like family. Now, I told y'all how I feel about a lot of stuff. And that sounds like bullshit to me. Ollie Unity said, I was so happy she apologized to Destiny. I was happy to see them make up and move on with the friendship. Me too. I was happy to see that in all actuality, they were able to move forward because this was unfortunate. It was a bad situation and it should have never happened. Destiny should not have been brought into that foolishness. Nell brings up the issue with Tisha and Destiny. And Destiny says she invited the entire group to her event this coming weekend. And Kimmy says she would be there, but Tisha said that she couldn't make it. Let's keep on moving. The next scene opens with Tisha on the floor of the bathroom at Scott Realty, and she is putting down pink spackle on the wall. Yeah, give me 1 second. I was intending to pull this up earlier, and I did not. But I need to make sure I have this up. This is what happened when you don't have everything ready for when you get ready to go. When you get ready to talk. And I kind of was rushing because I didn't want to make Butterfly wait. Child. Where is Butterfly? Where is Butterfly? You said conduct resolution, moving the story forward. Exactly. That's what we want, Symmetry. Remember, I always have to tell people Reality TV is about conflict and resolutions. If you're going to have conflict, because we're people, we're humans, and we're all individual, but inside of those conflicts, there have to be some type of resolution. And I am so happy to see them coming to a resolution. So next we see Tisha. She's on the floor of the bathroom at Scott Realty, talking to what seems to be like social media, something like giving a step-by-step play of what she was doing. And she's putting pink spackle on the wall. Conflict, yeah, conflict resolution. I, I kept saying conflict, so I appreciate you even clarifying just to make sure we're all on the same page. She's putting pink spackle on the drywall, and if you know, pink spackle, once it dries, it turns white. So it's pretty woman friendly. So it was good to see her actually, doing something. I thought it was cute. Marsau comes in. We see him coming in with a cup of coffee in his hand and his tape measure on his right hip. And Marsau asked Tisha, what are you doing? And Tisha said she decided she was no longer going to wait for Marsau's workers to complete the work. She would just do it herself. You said the petty in me wants her to change the name to More Realty. Oh my God. You and me both, Symmetry. You and me both. Because I was like, this man, oh my God. The more he talked, the more he was pissing me off. More so, listen, Tisha said she decided she was no longer going to wait for his workers to complete the work, so she would just do it herself. Marsau walks away, and in the confessional, we see him saying that he is coming in and he sees Tisha working. And he says that Tisha is sending the wrong message if she is sending a message. And that message is, hey, me and my company don't finish projects. And I have to end up doing the projects myself. and not such a good job at it at all. do whatever it is, whatever it is, mission unaccomplished is what he said. Tisha asked him how was his trip, and she said he got in late, so she couldn't pick him up from the airport. And he says it was his first time going to Europe. He was excited about going to Europe, I guess, because he did have a smile on his face. He said the shoe fits weird, baby. Stomp a hole in it. Stomp a hole in it, because Tisha actually called him on all the crap he's been doing. You have not been finishing projects. And then you want to sit up and say that what this message says is that me and my company don't finish projects. But I'm going to tell you this. When we get to the end, I'm going to explain to you what I believe is Marsau's problem. I think because we talked about this in Butterflies Live this morning. We've talked it over in back chat about what we think. But I really believe Marsau's resentful and he's upset because of their agreement. Well, let's move on and we'll get to that. Tisha says, I was planning this trip for Christmas, and Marsau apparently had sent her a list of different places. And then Marsau chimes in with, yeah, I want to do that for our 20th. So again, Marsau has gone out of this country without his wife, right? Tisha says, okay. Marsau then says he was picking up on a slight tude from Tisha. Yeah, homie, she has an attitude. And you know why? Because you keep running out of this country with everybody but her. You took your son this time, and we know you love your son, but you also have a wife. When your son has gone off to college and he's gotten married and he's moved on with his life, guess what? You're still going to have a wife, and you're still going to have to figure out how you're going to coexist with her. Brown Girls Rock says he sure does take a lot of international trips alone. Child, from your mouth to God's ears, definitely. Although he went with his son on this trip to Europe, and we did see pictures of him. I believe they were in Tisha's story, so they're not going to stay on the page for long. But him and MJ in Rome. So we did see some of those photos on the Instagram, but I definitely agree with what you said, Brown Girls Rocks. I think it was, him going out of this country a lot. It would upset me too, especially if he's going without his wife. Tisha actually tells him, she says, I'm in a good mood. And she did tell Marsau that there has been a lot going on since he was gone. Since you've been gone, baby, there's been a lot of stuff going on. And Marsau responded with, "Did you get into it with Destiny?" That's my question. So apparently there had already been some scuttlebutt or some conversation about her and Destiny having some issue. Tisha said she and Destiny did exchange words. Child, we all know what Tisha, hold on a second, what Tisha exchanged with Destiny when they got into a child down there to the open house. What what did they get? What was the word she said to her? Working with you, right? And I really think that it's unfortunate that Tisha feels that. Well, let me see. I think this is it. Let me see if it'll open. Let's see here. Y'all, this is hilarious. I don't care. Y'all, that is funny to me. Tisha said it took a turn at the party when Destiny said, "Your husband don't protect you," or "I protect you against your husband." Tisha said Destiny was trying to get her out of character. Child, was she trying to get you out of character? Was she trying to get you off her throat? Is that what she was doing? I don't think she was trying to get you out of character. I really don't think so, Tisha. I think you put 20 on 10 right there. Marsau responds with, "Did she get you out of character?" And Tisha says, I'm going to tell you something that I noticed with Tisha and Marsau. When he is talking with her, she becomes very humble, almost childlike. And I really hate to say that, because I say that about, I don't like to say women become childlike with their husband, but she becomes very reserved and quiet. That rah, rah, rah is gone. And she becomes very Tisha, very almost meek-like. And I really think that's worth the conversation. She said Symmetry said he wasn't alone on this trip. He took MJ and they attended the Kendrick Lamar concert and did some sightseeing. Right. I think I just explained it to her. There was pictures of them that was in the stories about them going on this trip. So Symmetry's right. He didn't go alone. He took his son to see Kendrick Lamar. They took the opportunity to see Rome. Rome is beautiful. I went to Rome last year in November. That was my birthday trip, and Rome is a beautiful place to see. We actually did an Italy hop. We was in Rome for 3 days and went to Venice. We went to Florence. I'm trying to think of all the places we went to. We went by train. So Italy's beautiful. It's beautiful. And if you ever have an opportunity to go, please go. I just wish that he had taken Tisha, because Italy is one of those places you really want to take your spouse, so that if you enjoy them, so you can get that opportunity for them to see what you see, because Italy is a once in a lifetime thing. It is a once in a lifetime thing. It definitely is. Marsau responded with, "Did she get you out of character?" And Tisha said, "Yeah, it's crazy." And Marsau asked her, "Is that what you wanted, Tisha?" And Tisha said, "No, that's not what I want." And Marsau said, "Is that not frustrating or exhausting to you?" And Tisha said, Tisha is over talking him, I'm sorry, and saying that it is what it is, Marsau. And Marsau said, "You're planning on getting into it with Destiny. You were planning on getting into it with Destiny." And I want to play this for you. Oh, Brown Girls Rock, you're going in June. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, baby. Make sure you go see all of the things you can see. When you get to Rome, go to Vatican City, even though Vatican City is a city within a city, the city of Rome, and go visit the St. Peter's, the chapels. Go do all the things in Vatican City. Yes, have fun. You're gonna, when I say enjoy it, you're gonna enjoy it. Y'all listen at this. Now, Marsau said Tisha was planning on getting into it with Destiny. She said that. He said, this is exactly what he said. Marsau said you were planning on getting into it with Destiny. Tisha said, "No, I wasn't planning on getting into it with her. I was planning on talking with Destiny. Listen at this.
He has a listing coming up. So
A listing of what?
she's in real estate, and I'm gonna go to it. So I just want to let her know that, yeah, I heard that you was talking crap about me. So I feel like I've been too good of a person to you, and I don't deserve you talking smack about me to my sister-in-law.
Well,
so it looked kind of premeditated to me, Tisha. And I told you I was going to tap your little hands a little bit today, man. Tap, tap. Tisha, Tisha, Tisha. Tisha, Tisha, Tisha. Told you I was going to. Yes, please enjoy Brown Girls Rock. When I say you're going to love it, you're going to love Italy. And if you get a chance, take that train into Venice, Florence. I love Florence of all the places that we went in Italy. Florence was my favorite. We did go to Capri. And I did enjoy Capri. We spent 2 nights in Capri. But out of all of them, I love Florence more than anything. So if you have a chance to do a little bit of the Italy hopping, take that train. And the train was pretty reasonable. I think we may have paid $30, $40 on the trains. So enjoy. You will enjoy it. So we see that Tisha was planning on getting into it with Destiny. Marsau said, "This is not how we do things, girl. This is not how we do it." He said, "I've been saying this from the very beginning." Marsau goes into his confessional and says, Tisha gets into these little scrapes with people, then going on like business as usual. This is not how business is done. It damages our brand and it hinders our ability to move forward, especially in this small town and given this platform. Now, isn't he such a voice of reason? Even though he is getting into it just like Tisha, baby. She's not getting into it alone. You over there getting into it too, buddy. Anyway, Tisha said she feels like she is fighting these girls, and then she has to come on and explain all of this to Marsau. And Marsau acts like he never understands. Marsau then responds with, "Why am I building this professional office if you just want to sister girl it with Destiny?" And Tisha said, "If I just want to do what?" And I felt just like Tisha. If you just want to do what? Because it makes zero sense. Like you talk about my mom, you talk about my husband. And Tisha said, well, we aren't doing that. And Tisha says, one person says something and goes low, and now y'all both doing it. Tisha said, "No, I didn't go low. She went low." I'm going to tell you this. Now, there's a lot of things I agree with, I disagree with, but I will say this. Tisha, while talking to Destiny, she told Destiny, "I have protected you." Now, I want you to see now, Destiny said, your husband's the only one don't protect you, but I want you to listen to this too.
I have never talked about you to any of the ladies and laugh about you with any of the ladies. Even when your mugshot was out there, I'm defending you to people. I'm not.
So was that low? Was that low, Tisha? I told you I was going to tap your hands a little bit. I love you, though. But I'm going to tap your hands. One thing I believe in doing is keeping it real. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it real with me. I'm going to keep it real with the dog, the cat, the sisters, the brothers. I'm going to keep it real. We're going to keep it real. Tisha, you actually went just as low. People are not going low, and you think you're going high. When y'all sat at that table, you literally have been picking at Destiny, just like she says later on in the episode. So we're going to keep on going. Tisha said, but I ain't forgot about that mugshot comment that you made. That mugshot comment was just as nasty as that husband comment, right? So here's the thing, and I've heard Funky Dineva say this. Shout out to Funky Dineva. You cannot piss me off and then tell me how mad to get. You just can't do that. Just like I said, you can't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. We don't do those things. So at the end of the day, Tisha, you was just as low. I think when you scream out, "Oh, I didn't talk about your mugshot," that's just as low as it was with her saying something about your husband. Let's call it equal right now. And all of Unity said, yeah, that was low. I totally agree. I think they both went low. So with Tisha saying, "No, I didn't go low, she went low," y'all both went low. I think y'all both missed opportunities to apologize and move on. Tisha said, "She brought my husband into this situation," and Marsau interrupts her and says, "You don't have to defend me to a woman who doesn't have a husband and that runs through men like crazy. We're gonna dissect that bullshit right there. We are fixing to dissect that bullshit because that sounds like some bullshit to me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Forgive my mannerism and conversation at this moment, but that's what that sounds like to me. I'm gonna tell you this. Destiny has told all of us on this television show. She sung it loud from her podcast. She sung it loud from her YouTube channel that she is dating. That's all she said. I am dating, but I am celibate. Right? So Marsau, you coming out here saying that she runs through men like crazy is absurd. Obtuse. You are being obtuse to everybody. It's ridiculous that you thought that was something that you should say on TV. Are you okay? And I'm gonna tell you this: having a husband is not a prerequisite to life. Look how you treating your wife. Look at you talk to your wife as though she's your child. And you think that's something to be proud of? Boy, sit down. Sit down. I wish we had Living for Me here with her chairs. Because you need a seat right now. You need to sit down. Anyway, he said, you don't have to defend me to that. I wouldn't defend me to that. As though he's better than Destiny. Chad, we don't want to go there. I wish Butterfly was here so she could go there. Because we know Butterfly would take him there. But at the end of the day, you're no better than anybody. Remember, your pappy was in prison. Remember that. Remember your daddy, your pappy putting locks on the refrigerator? Remember that? Your brother told us that one. What else did your daddy do? Drag y'all over down the street and make you work? What else did he make you do? Because you're not making sense. You're not making any sense. You're no better than anybody else on this show. Come on, I wouldn't defend me to that. I wouldn't defend me to that. Who cares what you're not? Boy, shut up. Just shut up. You sound retarded. She said he is very, very disrespectful, Brown Girls Rocks. Ridiculously disrespectful. And that was super disrespectful. Marsau says, no, T, I understand where you're going. When you go out, you represent Letitia and Marsau. Oh, we just getting to the real disrespectful. That sounds like bullshit to me. Come on. He says, when you go out, you represent Letitia and Marsau. You carry that name. You carry, I'm going to say it again. He said, you carry that name. Child, what name? What name is so important that you got to run around here saying that I carry that name? You sound silly to me. You sound silly to me, Marsau, but you always sound a little silly to me, to be honest with you. You always sound a little silly to me. He said, Tisha said, but I represent Letitia. He said, you're in my name, just so we know that. You're in my name, just so we know that. No Letitia Moore, no Letitia Denise. I'm seeing Letitia Scott on everything. And Letitia says, that's not fair because I'm still my own individual person. And Marsau responds with, except you're not. Was that a mind fuck? What was that? What is he doing? Gaslighting? Taking her through there? What is he doing? Because this ain't making no sense to me. This ain't making a lick sense to me. Symmetry said, who does he think he is representing with his misogynistic behavior? The devil. He's representing the devil. I don't know who he thinks he's representing, but I'm here to tell you he's representing the devil. So he says, no Letitia Moore, no Letitia Denise. He done called this girl out by her whole government name. I'm seeing Letitia Scott. Letitia says, that's not fair because I am my own individual person. And Marsau responds with, except you're not. Tisha said, I am though. And Marsau reiterates, no, you're not though. Tisha says, I am. And Marsau says, well, then give me back my name. Ladies. The way I would have gave that MF for his name back in every word, every syllable in the cussing language I could find, that's just what would have happened. he would have got cussed out. He definitely would have got cussed out. Like I said, he can have that name. That name means nothing. I'm gonna put absolutely in front of that nothing symmetry if you don't mind. Absolutely. We're gonna make it positively exclusive. Absolutely nothing. Marsau playing on Tisha's emotions. He's a trip. Ooh, all in unity. But he played on a real. When I say he played on a real good, he played on a real good. He says, "Why the hell did God give you a smart man and a good leader if you're not gonna listen to him? If you know better, like you're not the leader of this, Tisha." Did y'all hear what he said there? I'm gonna say that again because I don't know if everybody heard that. He said, "Why the hell did God give you a smart man and a good leader if you're not going to listen to him? If you know better, like you're not the leader of this, Tisha." Oh, here she come, girl. You know I was over here talking bad about you. I love you though. Give me 1 second. Let me capture this link, put it down here for about. I think I left it pinned for you anyway. But I want y'all to see something. That's okay, butterfly. I understand, baby. Sleep. You done been out there all weekend, honey. You probably ain't got no voice. I want y'all to see something that I actually pulled up on Chat GPT. I asked, is African American families who normally leaves the legacy? And Chat GPT says there isn't one universal answer because African American families are diverse in structure, region, class, and tradition. But historically, a few patterns show up. Now let's look at these patterns. Let me let Butterfly in real quick. Let's look at these patterns and we're gonna get on into it. Where you at? There you go. Hey, Butterfly. So according to Chat GPT, matriarchs, grandmothers, mothers, great aunts, they often carry and preserve the family legacy, meaning family stories, values, faith, traditions, recipe, reunions, caregiving, and keeping relatives connected. In many Black families, the grandmother is seen as the cultural anchor. So let's just say when we say matriarchs, we mean grandmother, mother, great aunts. All the females in the family is what we use to be our matriarchs. Patriarchs, which are the fathers, grandfathers, and uncles, they may, y'all see what it say, maybe, but with the matriarchs, it says often. I want y'all to notice the difference. Maybe remember for economic legacy, land ownership, military service, church leadership, trades, or community standing when those opportunities were available. If they stuck around, in other words. But among African American, the women, the matriarchs, are primarily the ones who hold the legacy. Butterfly, what you got to say about all this?
First and foremost, I want to apologize for my tardiness. Girl, I was sitting here waiting and I don't know what. I just fell asleep. I do apologize. So please forgive me, Queendom, Lady Row. My sincere apologies. Now, what was you just reading about? Like the order of
Okay, so let me go back because I want you to. This is where I really want you to chime in. We're at the part where Marsau told Tisha that her name was not Tisha Scott. Okay, I mean Tisha Moore. So let me scroll back up so we can go. He said, "You're in my name." This is what he told her. He's already told her that she shouldn't have been arguing with Destiny, and I've already proven that she did kind of premeditate. Remember, I told you I was going to tap her on the hands a little bit. She kind of premeditated going over to the open house to confront Destiny. She said she just wanted to talk to her, but it was kind of premeditated what she did. So we're at the part where he said that Destiny, you don't have to defend me to a woman who doesn't have a husband and runs through men like crazy. We talked about that, and I talked about how disrespectful he was and how it would have cussed him out all the syllables in the cussing language. And then he told Tisha, he said, when you go out, you represent Letitia and Marsau. You carry that name. Tisha said, but I represent Letitia. He said, you're in my name, just so we know that. No Letitia Moore, no Letitia Denise. I am seeing Letitia Scott. And Letitia says, that's not fair because I am still my own individual person. And Marsau responded with, except you're not. Tisha said, I am, though. And Marsau reiterates, no, you're not, though. Tisha says, I am. And Marsau says, well, then give me back my name. Why the hell did God give you a smart and a good leader if you're not going to listen to him? If you know better, you're not the leader of this, Tisha. And Tisha responded with, well, God also blessed you with a smart wife. And Marsau says, so you're not listening to me. Okay, go ahead, Butterfly.
Where do I start? It pretty much, like I was saying before I even got to see the whole episode, it's given that control. I want to be in control. I'm in control. And I kind of agree with Tisha that it's not fair that you have this expectations of me to walk around and represent us as a family, where you sometimes lack in that area yourself. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's manipulative. I don't understand what finishing her office got to do with Destiny or arguing with Destiny or any of that. I don't know. And I don't know how that would ruin business in a community for them, because that's basically what he was trying to make it seem like. And I just felt like that was manipulative. Instead of being honest about why you haven't finished the office, which I also said I believe it was because he doesn't want her to have something of her own. And I just think it was just downright disrespectful. And it's one thing to lead, but I thought, when you're in a situation where you got, the head of the household and then the wife, I did think that husband and wife at least discuss things together. And the husband, a quote unquote, the leader, is supposed to come out with something that works for both of them as a family. No?
I agree.
I don't know. Okay. So I just feel like it's very misogynistic.
Very much.
And it once again goes back into me feeling like he wants to be in control on all aspects, and him not understanding her wanting to have some of her own is just selfish. I just feel like it's very selfish. And the fact that he literally said out his mouth, I'm the leader and I want you to listen to me. So it's like no matter what she feel or how she feel, it's like, it don't matter. Like, I don't know. But the Cubs, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Marsau definitely operates in misogyny, and it doesn't look good on him. Because I'm gonna tell you this, regardless of what his last name is, I said this before. In Black families, historically speaking, the legacy normally lies within the mother, because normally the father walks away. And I'm not telling you from just something I heard. I'm telling you from research, things I've read, and statistics, so on and so forth. Y'all make sure y'all are liking the page. But I really believe when he came to her and told her that she needs to give him his name back, she should have used that opportunity to cuss him the hell out. Now I don't know why Letitia is scared of Marsau, because that's what it seems like. It seemed like the moment he started belittling her and lecturing her, she almost became into like a meek, humble person, humble servant almost. And I really feel like that that's horrible. I'm glad you're here, Michelle. I'm so glad you're
here. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Marsau just doesn't finish projects. He's still building Scott Manor, still doing the work for Kimmy and Maurice, and can't finish Tisha's office. I'm gonna tell you something. When we get to closer to the end, I'm gonna give you my take on what Marsau's issue is. And again, I think he's resentful. I think he's very resentful. And I'm not gonna say he's all wrong. I'm not. I think his attitude stinks. I believe that he could be nasty with his wife, but I'm not going to say he's all wrong. Not with the way he spoke to Maurice. Should he go to therapy? Hell yeah. He needs to lay on the sofa. Don't just sit on the sofa. Lay down, put a cold towel on your head, because he got some shit he got to work through. Michelle said, I think Tisha bruised his fragile ego, especially when he saw her taking matters into her own hands. He was intimidated when he saw her working on the project herself. I agree with that one. I do agree with that one. Symmetry said extremely submissive, very submissive. When he started lecturing her, she, I mean, became so almost timid. If you watched her, she even said, "Why are you yelling at me?"
Yeah, she did become timid and can
Hey,
clearly
Yanni.
tell that she dropped a couple of tears because it was just, and that's what I don't like. I feel like the manipulation and the excuses you're making for not finishing her office, and then you turn around and make it seem like it's her fault that you're not finishing the office, basically.
Right.
I just found that so disgusting.
Yanian, is it Yanian? How you pronounce that? Miss
That's
Murphy?
it, my beautiful buttercup. Salutations.
Salutations.
Hola.
Hola.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in. You said Marsau is 80 to 90% asshole for sure. He definitely is. He definitely
Yeah.
Symmetry said he doesn't want to see her grow. She said that earlier. And she said we are
Mm-hmm.
years removed from their 5-year plan and he's stuck there.
Right.
He's insecure and wants to control
Yeah.
her. I probably would have told her
Yes.
his name back and walked out. I agree with that. I agree with that. I will tell you this. When she said, but I'm my own person. Because she really was trying to, it was like she was trying to bargain with him, right? And he's like, no, but you're not though. As though he knows best about everything. This is a woman who's at home raising the children, taking the children back and forth to all the things they need done, cooking for the children, and working alongside of him. He said she owns the majority of Scout. Isn't that what he said? I didn't say it. I believe it came from his mouth that she owned the majority of Scout. So this is a lady working alongside of you. Although your hands are the one building these projects, she actually is behind the scenes, I believe, pushing you forward. But we're going to get to that at the end because I believe that Marsau thinks that Tisha's not the team player. But I believe it may be him. I really believe that.
I believe it may be him too.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
wish Tisha would stop clamming up when he talks to her like she's scared of Marsau. Hey, Shayna, thank you for joining. Girl, look at you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all, I do have membership. I wasn't pushing. I am really pushing to get my subscribers up. That is my thing. And I appreciate you. Please don't ever I don't take anything lightly of anybody who joins me, who comes into my lives. I don't take any of it. Like, I am very appreciative. I really want to create a sisterhood, a queendom over here where we could just sit, laugh, and talk about things that affect us as women. Because I am a girl's girl. I tell you that all the time. I am a girl's girl, and I believe in pushing women forward. You said I just realized you had membership. Yeah, because I hadn't talked about it. I didn't think I needed. I didn't really want to push that right now because I really want to get a hold of my content and start moving it forward. So let's get back over here to you said she took some of her power back by reminding him that she's smart in her own power, in her own person. I agree she did. I just wish she had a gut punch to it though. You know what I'm saying? Like add a couple of them MFers in there and some other things that would let him know that she wasn't playing. But I think Marsau beats her down so that she just really just feels defeated when it comes down to him. Next he says, I'm sorry, Butterfly.
No, I agree. I do feel like he's the way he talks to her, it kind of makes her lose her courage.
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
definitely agree with that one. Yeah. Tisha said, I'm listening, but it goes both ways. And Marsau raises his voice and he says, it doesn't go both ways. And Tisha said, it absolutely goes both ways. And he says, it does not. Tisha asked him, why are you raising your voice? And Marsau says, I'm just, and then he says, I'm sorry. Because he realizes he's looking like an ass. You're looking like an ass. You just told this lady the cameras are here. And you know what? I've heard a lot of reality TV people say that they get so used to those cameras that they forget that they're there. And I wonder, was that one of those moments that he forgot that camera was there? Then all of a sudden he remembered and he was like, I'm just, and then he says, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, he apologized. He definitely apologized. He owed her an apology. And he owed her a better apology than the one that she got. Yes, Michelle, he definitely apologized. She definitely looked defeated when he asked her for his name back. Oh my God. Her voice started quivering. Did y'all hear that? I thought she was gonna start crying any moment because defeated. Yes, ma'am. And I don't think it was fair to her for that. Where's I at? At any rate, you're doing the office in there. Tisha said, I'm doing that because you're not doing it. So here we are reiterating to you that you're not doing the things that I ask you to do. That's the only reason why I'm down here in this office this office on this bathroom floor, putting spackle on drywall to cover up holes is because you're not doing it. And Marsau said, you can do it by yourself. And Tisha said, I didn't say that. But I feel like I'm trying to plead my case or for you to see the value in me. And y'all, when I tell you that broke my heart when she said that, why do you have to plead your case to a man who said, I do to you, and for him to see the value in you? Oh my, I couldn't. And her voice started quivering at this moment. Tisha said, I'm not going to beg you to see the value in me. If you don't see it, you don't see it. I can't force you to see it. And Marsau says, all right then, baby, do that drywall. And I'm going to tell you what, I tried to look for it, but I couldn't find it. I wanted to insert right there where Stormy called him a bitch, because that's exactly what he was acting like. Why in the world, this lady's pouring her heart out to you, and you walk out the door with a coffee cup in one hand and your funky ass measuring tape on your hip while she's telling you, I didn't ask you to, I didn't say I wanted to do this by myself. I'm telling you, I'm in here because you're not in here. No one's here helping me. And I just want you to see the value in me. And I'm not going to beg you to see the value in me. If you don't see it, then you don't see it. But that shouldn't be. Tisha says in the confessional that she feels let down by Marsau because as a wife, she expects Marsau to be her safe space. Her feelings are hurt and she feels let down. What do you think about that, Butterfly? That was the end.
That was really sad, and I think she summed it up perfectly. And it definitely has a lot to do with him not seeing the value in her. And for whatever reason, he's having a hard time seeing the value in her. I think, I don't know, it's given that,
yeah, it's given all that.
It's given that he doesn't find her to be a smart woman. Mm-hmm. Because it's just, it's killing him to allow her to have. And my thing, like I always said, I felt like he feels like that's going to be a separate entity from what they're doing as a family. And I don't understand how he feels that way when everything is coming back into that same household. You know what I mean? But we'll get to the end because when he gets to when he gets to saying it, it kind of
yeah. And I think my take on it after I rewatched it and took notes, my take is a little bit different. So where I was going to eat him up, I think I found a little sympathy for him, just a little bit. And we're going to get to it. So let's not get ahead of the game. Next, we see Tisha and Ken on a double date with Destiny and Will. They meet at a place called Sam's Restaurant and Lounge. Destiny makes it clear, because she comes in first, and she makes it clear that Will is a friend and it is all platonic. Wait a minute. I'm trying to see. All of Unity says she just doesn't know how much power she has. I wish she would realize that he needs her. Oh, baby. You just preached the word in that right there, All of Unity. I wish he really would see how much he really needs her. I really wish she see that. Michelle said it's given that he's intimidated to me, giving her an office, allowing her to assert her independence. I agree with that. But I think, again, that office, him not doing the office is a piece of his resentment. And it's also, he's not doing it as a part of his punishment for her because of the way he feels. But we're going to get to that at the end.
Yes, I agree with that. Like it's a punishment type shit. Like, punishment. Right?
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that, Butterfly. Destiny makes it clear that her and Will are just friends, and it's platonic. In fact, she says that Will is a walking red flag later on in her conversation. And we see Will arrive, and then Ken says he was just telling Tisha and Destiny. He was just telling Tisha that Destiny and Will, they look good together. And Will says Destiny and I are just friends. He reiterates it as well. Will asked Ken if they were back together, and Ken and Trish both said yes. And Will said they look nicest together as well. And Ken calls Trisha crazy. And Destiny says, and you're not. Ken asked if Will and Destiny were going to go out on another date. And Will again makes it clear that he and Destiny are friends. Will asked about the drag party, and Tisha said she thought that Destiny and Tisha were going to drag each other. And Destiny says that Tisha has continuously been picking at her. And this is where I really want to say that I agree with her. Tisha was picking. Whether or not we agree with it, and maybe Tisha didn't mean it as picking, but it came off as picking because it started with the ride to the winery, right? And then every time they would get together, it was something pointed at Destiny, something pointed at some little smart remark at Destiny until it really blew up. And unfortunately, it all blew up at the drag party. And it already kind of blown up at the open house, but it really busted the eyes wide open at the drag party. Remember this? You said resentment of what? Brown Girls Rock. Stick around, baby, because I think we're all kind of, if you watch the end of the video, he tells you why he's resentful. The end of the episode, he tells you exactly why he's resentful. He tells you exactly why he feels the way he feels and why he treats her and I'm not saying it's right because maybe he's dead wrong, but I understand what he was saying. And again, I think he needs to go lay on someone's sofa in their therapist's office and get all the lithium, the Valium, the Haldol that they have, and let them talk to him. And he talked to them because, Chad, he got a lot going on. He doesn't do anything for anyone, not just Tisha. Michelle, come on now. Come on. I can't keep up with all the untruths coming from Trisha and Kim. Me either. In fact, I wanted to skip over their parts, but I thought that's not fair. Somebody might be interested. Sarah Lee, welcome. I wish Destiny would stop saying she's dating these guys. She should use a different word. Not a good look. But she's also said that, although they are dating, she's told us all they're not having sex. She has said over and over that they're not having sex. And I believe Will and Lance have both said that they didn't have sex with her. So I mean, I agree with maybe a different word, but what other word can you use? Because dating should not mean that you're having sex with every partner that you date, right? Because if you're having sexual relationships with everybody you date, then I need to have you go down there to the health clinic and get checked out.
But no, because I believe she's been saying since last year that she's been practicing celibacy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But that's what my point is if dating to everyone means that you have SDX with everybody that you date, then you should be down there to the clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you definitely shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I think dating means going out, getting to know someone. In fact, I'll look up what dating means. Michelle said, I can understand Destiny's position. However, at the drag show, Tisha didn't start the conversation. She may not have started the conversation, but she didn't help the conversation either. Good evening, Terry. Speaking to each other. They both are telling all in unity. What you talking about? All kinds of lies. Hey, Terry. You're so right. Yeah, I mean, I would just say they're my friends.
Yeah, I would refer to them as my friend too. I wouldn't necessarily say dating either. Because unfortunately, due to generations and the different dating them got flipped, switched, and all type of girl. You can look it up now and you probably be shocked what it means.
Well, it says dating the process of spending time with someone romantically to explore compatibility, build a connection, and determine if you are a match for a long-term commitment.
Okay. Well, all right. At least it still means the same thing to us.
Right. Back in the day, they used country folks or Southern folks used the word courting. And I remember asking my mom what courting meant. And so courting was another word for dating, but she said they didn't court for long. And I think that may be why a lot of them had relationships where they was fussing, fighting, and divorcing, because they courted real fast and got married real quick. better get them
Yeah.
better get them some prep. Definitely. If you believe that everybody you date, you should be giving it up without some protection, you better get you some prep for sure. I agree with Sarah Lee. Do y'all in unity? Okay. She was going on dates with them. So yeah, with them. And I agree with that. Going on dates and being celibate means I'm celibate. I don't care what anybody else tries to make it, but I agree that word can be misleading to some, especially when people don't really, feel like that word means something else. But we do know a lot of girls do give it up, real quickly. So it does make it hard for the women who are being celibate and trying to save themselves for whatever. I'm late, but my 2 cents, Marsau is afraid of letting Tisha grow. I agree with you, Terry. I definitely agree with you on that one. I believe he probably is afraid of her growth, and I believe it may be for two or three reasons that he's afraid of her growth. Where are we at with Trisha and Ken, child? Destiny said that Tisha has continuously been picking at her, playing with her name as a professional and as a woman. And as soon as Destiny says the only person that ain't protecting you is your husband, then all that was the end, all be all. And Trisha said, yeah, that's what blew it up. Ken says it's easy for Tisha to put it off on Destiny instead of addressing her own problems. And I believe that may be true because as we see in this episode, there's some trouble in paradise. I think it gives people the wrong impressions. I agree with you all in unity. It could. It could. If you, because people doing a little bit of everything. I'm not going to lie. So I don't even know if they call it dating anymore. They may call it hanging on the tree. I don't know what they be saying. Flipping off the roof. These young folks got a name for everything. So I'm not sure what they call dating. But I do understand when someone says I'm dating and I am, being celibate, that means exactly we're just dating. But I do understand they could give someone else the wrong impression if they believe that it means more than that. Ken, we talked about Ken, talked about it was easy for Tisha to put it off. Destiny said it was cute for Trisha to jump up to her instead of jump on to the conversation about Destiny instead of jumping on what Trisha said she had going on. And Trisha said, let me go ahead and tell you before Destiny tells you. Child, when I tell you Trisha gets on my nerves, and she's not believe it or not, she's not a good fit for TV. But girl, go ahead. And so Trisha tells Ken that she was talking about spinning the block and that they realized they wanted to be together. And Will just busted out and said, so you was talking to other people while y'all was split up? And Trisha said, yeah. And Ken said that Trisha said she wasn't talking to anyone while they were split up. So, girl, Trisha's a big liar. Trisha is a big liar. Destiny says she thinks Trisha likes to omit things. Omit things or just flat out be a liar is what I think Trisha did. Trisha said after she found out that Ken was in people's DMs, that's when she decided that she would spin the block. But we don't spin the block mean I went out with someone I used to go out with and we repeat it. And now we back. Butterfly, you have anything you want to say about these two psychopaths?
Yeah, Trish really told on herself. I don't think she had that conversation with Ken at all about her spinning the block. And yeah, Trish is not a good liar, and she doesn't be making no sense. But yeah, I don't know.
I agree with you on that. She'll be making no sense at all. At all. Okay, next one's a quick one too. Next we see Kimmy and Maurice at home. Kimmy asked if Marsau was back from his trip, and Maurice said he thinks he's back, but he said they really hadn't had much of a conversation since they had that disagreement at the house, and at Marsau's house. And Kimmy asked Maurice if he threatened to sue Marsau, and Maurice said, "You sent me over there to motivate him, and now that I motivated him, you saying I was wrong?" And Maurice said he's not going to sue Marsau, of course. And Kimmy is talking too much as always. She mentions Ken and Trish. We don't care. And then Trisha would spin the block. They had a little good conversation about that. And then Kimmy talks about hosting a getaway trip with the group. Butterfly, you got anything to say about that sing?
No. Mm-mm. Nice little catch up. Good. Yep. Loved them.
Trisha said, Shayna said, I think Trisha spun the block with Marquez. Ooh. Okay.
I would hope she would not have set herself up for that ticking time bomb, baby. I don't know. Maybe we need to go check his Instagram because we know he wouldn't be able to hold water if that was the case.
Girl, he would tell the whole wide world. He can't hold nothing. And you said, you said, especially when she starts talking with her eyes closed, you know what's going to come out. Trisha's like, a lie. Here comes a lie. Sarah Lee laughing. She said, wait a minute. I noticed Destiny was so offended by Tisha calling her a hoe. Yes, she referred to herself as a bitch when talking to Trish. I didn't notice that, but I wasn't listening that hard either. So I'm gonna be honest with you, the Trish conversation of it all, girl, I was like, yeah, let me just get this part over with. Because their parts are never interesting to me at all. I found Will more entertaining than I do Trisha and Ken, to be honest with you. I do. And Will's not that much of an entertainment either. So yeah. He would have came out with that one. LOL. Definitely Brown Girls Rocks. Definitely. Passion.
We would have came out with that one.
How you know, baby, you are so square cool, but I am too. The title the other day to Marsau. Marsau, are you serious? You meant that exactly. I meant every word of that. Marsau is ignorant. He is ignorant with a capital I. Capital I. Next week, we see the ladies at Rocket City Boxing. And I want to just put something in, plug it in real quick, just so that we can all make sure that we support Destiny's Law. Destiny's Law is a foundation that Destiny has for domestic violence. And the website is Destiny's Law Foundation.com, and they have a donation button on there. She's advocating for survivors, rebuilding lives. Destiny Law is a nonprofit organization founded in 2024 by Destiny Payton, dedicated to supporting survivors of domestic violence and empowering them with resources, awareness, and I can't see that other word because there's something in front of it, but I think you all get the gist of it. Please go to her website and support Destiny's Law. Please, 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 and thank you. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. You're welcome, Michelle. She said, thanks for sharing it. Terry said, I think being called a hoe is a bigger problem to me because you make me mad. I'll probably be a bitch. Exactly. I agree with that too. Being called a hoe is, to me, a garden tool is totally different than me, because being a bitch just means at you. It don't mean that I'm out here, giving it up to every Tom, Dick, or Harry. Next, we see the ladies at Rocket City Boxing, and Destiny is holding a self-defense class for the public. And I'm glad she opened it up for the public. It was good to see other faces besides just the women of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Destiny says Tisha says she couldn't make it, and we see Tisha driving up. And then at this point, I've showed you guys the foundation. Please support her in every way that you can, even if it's just sending her some encouragement, dropping $5 or $10 off over there, whatever you can do. Tisha says she always wants to support. She said she just got back from dropping MJ off at school, although Marsau said he was busy trying to get MJ into Auburn. We're going to call that all his lies in a minute. And she said, although she and Destiny still have tension, she hopes this sends a message to Destiny, a clear message that this girl really supports me. And she said, this is a nice moment for a good cause. They discussed the double date with Ken, Trisha, Destiny, and Will. And they talk about how Trisha got defensive when Destiny mentioned the spinning the block comment. Trisha said when she said spinning the block, she didn't mean actually. She didn't mean, up under the bump in the grind. Trisha got a little line problem. She got a little line problem. Anyway, Kimmy invited the ladies on a group trip. You have anything to say about the Destiny Law Foundation, Butterfly?
No, I think it was an excellent program, and I'm glad that she, like I said, this is a really good season for Destiny because it's showing so many different aspects of her, so I can really appreciate that. And I just appreciate it, them showing what she's doing. Because you're always saying, "Oh, Destiny ain't got nothing going on." Da, 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 da. So I just like that this season we're getting to see exactly what Destiny got going on.
I totally
And
agree.
I think, yeah, and I really, I'm glad that she started her foundation. And like you said, Lady Real, please, if y'all can, please make sure y'all support it. It's a nonprofit. All proceeds does go to the victims and the survivors that she is gonna be helping. So yeah, shout out to Destiny.
Shout out to Destiny for doing her big one,
Yep.
starting something that
Yeah.
help change someone else's lives, and hopefully
Right.
with the right support, the right people, they can change multiple lives. Maybe get a Destiny Law Foundation home. Who knows what the future looks like for them? And I wish her well. Hey, Queen Script.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I really hope it gets better. Okay, y'all. Now we're getting up to the end part of the episode. Oh, child. Let me do one good one. Next, we see Letitia and Marsau. They're at Black, and Marsau asks Tisha what kind of drink she wants. We're gonna walk through this with y'all, and he begins to make her a drink. She says she wanted a black mug, and while making the drink, he asked her a question. Wait a minute before we move forward. All in Unity says Destiny needs the first chair at the reunion. She is bringing it this season. Baby, I know Destiny's back is hurting. I have some Flexibil for you, Destiny, because she has carried this season on her back and on her shoulders. I know her back is in pain. I know it is. Trisha gets confused a lot. She also didn't mean anything by kissy face to Lance now. She didn't mean actual by spinning the blocks. Michelle, when I tell you Trisha is a ball of confusion, a ball of confusion, and a ball of lies all at the same time. Uh-huh. Yes, a ball of lies. Hey, Satin Baby Doll. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're at the last part of this episode, which is kind of where I got a little sympathetic towards Marsau. Now, don't beat me up. I don't beat me up, but I did get just a little bit of sympathy for Marsau. So again, let's start at the top. Next, we see Letitia and Marsau. They arrive at Black. And Marsau asked Tisha what kind of drink she wants. She told him she wanted a black mug. And he begins to make her a drink while asking her a question. He asked her what she had been up to. And Tisha said, trying to get some furniture moved into the office. Marsau asked her if she had finished. And she said, I have finished my part. He then says to Tisha, do you mind if I give you a little advice? And he says, just ask me once. But if you constantly ask every 6 or 7 months, that is harassing me. Butterfly, please bop this nigga on top of his head.
Oh my God. It's self-explanatory. Every 6 to 7 months. So how long have you been taking to make this goddamn office? Are you kidding me? And at the end of the day, like you said, Lady Ro, it all has it's like I said, it just all has to do with stifling her and her growth.
That part.
And for whatever reason, he does not want her to grow. And I feel like he feels like if she grows, that's gonna affect their relationship in some way, shape, or form. That's not gonna be positive. And I need to know why he feels like that. Because right now it's giving everything that I said, and I'm just, like I said already, I just been devastated that I've been right. I just hate that I've been one of the times I hate that I was right. I really do.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I really hate that too. Kimmy and Maurice, they then joined them at the bar. Kimmy says she needs to make sure everybody's okay. Now, I don't know why Kimmy needs to make sure everybody's okay, because she started the bullshit. She came in with the jumper cables and jump started the bullshit. Now, I don't know if anybody else saw it that way, but I did. Kimmy started the bullshit with her and Destiny by running her mouth. She also started this bullshit between her, Tisha, and Marsau, because she went back and told she didn't have to go tell Maurice that, well, I guess she did have to ask about the lawsuit. He was suing him. But I don't know. I think you should know your husband better than that. I don't know. You said Tisha could have did that office herself. It seems like this is a little game they play. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think she could do the office by herself. Maybe she could, but I really don't think she can, Sarah Lee. I mean, you got to hang drywall, you got to do plumbing. There's just so much. You got to put walls up. I don't think she could do that. Then Kimmy comes in and says the same darn thing. She says she's learning that you can't harass Marsau. I noticed that too, Michelle. I noticed that. Hey, Gail France, thanks for joining. Everybody speaking. Yes, she did. Kimmy started all that BS this season. Yeah, Kimmy, that mouth. I was running
She
her
even
down.
started it with Maurice and Marsau. That's why
Yeah.
she was like, I don't really. They're brothers. They go back and forth. Of course, Kimmy, you knew that, and you also knew that you was getting agitated, and your husband knew you was getting agitated. So he
Right.
went and lit the fire that you asked him to light.
Definitely. And she was more than agitated. She was pissed off. But now all of a sudden, when she gets in front of Maurice and Marsau, it wasn't all that much. Or really in front of Tisha. Oh, I realize you can't really harass Marsau. So now all of a sudden you playing pussycat too?
Right.
Now come on. Anyway. See where we at. Marsau says that this ain't Marsau and when Kimmy asked if they were good, he said this ain't Marsau and Fletch. This is Marsau and Reese. We are good. Then Tisha said this was one of my concerns about working together, and Marsau acts like he's shocked. She said, "It was." She said, "I didn't want us to become enemies," and Marsau act like he didn't really understand what she was talking about. But I definitely did. I believe that Kimmy is a lot madder than she is pretending to be. I believe that we all saw her talking to Maurice, and it seemed like when she was talking to Maurice, she was super pissed off. So where did this Kimmy come from that is so understanding? I don't get that. All in Unity said Kimmy playing all sides. Baby, come on. There you go, right there, All in Unity. You just said the magic word. She's playing all sides because you did show us that you were pissed off. You showed us that.
Right. Talk about how it's ruining your reputation, your business reputation, and X, Y, and Z. So Kimmy definitely did an overplay for the underplay.
Definitely. And remember, they got the lady waiting. She'd been paying rent.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on now. It's funny with her saying, because we have to figure out how it is said. I don't know what she's talking about. Seems like Kimmy outrage was for the camera. You know what, girlfriends? I agree with that one too, because how did you flip so fast? I think that's what we're saying. Tisha would be wrong if she hired her own contractor to finish the office, I bet. Definitely would be wrong. He would
he would be livid.
He would be livid, baby. He probably tear the stuff down. He probably go through there with a sledgehammer and knock on the wall.
A bulldozer one. Shoot.
Yes. You said, Shayna, that's what she should do. I agree with you, Terry, but baby, I can tell you right now, she definitely would have to give her name back. Symmetry said Kimmy is an instigator. She definitely is, because we saw her behavior and her mannerisms with Maurice when it came down to Marsau finishing that space for them, and she was upset. But now all of a sudden she realizes that you can't harass Marsau. You got to be kind. You got to walk on eggshells around Marsau. Child, as Marsau says, a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. Kimmy, I don't live by that rule. Queen Script says he would lose it completely and totally.
But that's even shit.
She says, Marsau says, a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. Kimmy.
Okay. Messy Michelle.
Crazy. Y'all make sure y'all are hitting like, please, if you don't mind. Make sure you're liking, thumbing up this video, because we're trying to get out in the algorithm. We're trying to make some money moves around here and get on up in the YouTube space or whatever, the YouTube sphere. We're trying to get there. I said that because she wasn't worried about how she told Tisha what Destiny said at all. But we don't really know how she told it to Tisha, because we didn't get a chance to see it on camera. So it is crazy. Kimmy's interpretation of how she relates conversation as people walking away thinking things are different from what they are. I agree with that symmetry, because babe, we saw how she talked to Maurice, and Maurice went over there. He done drove up the hill, drove over the mountain, over the hills and everywhere, and walked up the rocks and went on there and gave Marsau a piece of his mind. and had Marsau thinking he was gonna sue him. And now all of a sudden, you know better that you can't harass Marsau. Girl, get out of here. Get out of here. Tisha said one of her concerns about them working together was that they were, they would ruin their relationship. And Kimmy said that they're past ruining it. They've been fighting since they were kids. All of a sudden now Kimmy is the voice of understanding. Anyway, Kimmy says
I
that she
think she meant ruin her and Tisha. She feel like her and Tisha done been through, they done been through enough that their relationship can't be ruined. I think she's actually referring to her and Tisha's relationship on that part.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what she said again. Kimmy said they're past ruining their relationship. They have been fighting since they were kids. She was talking about Marsau and Maurice. They're the only people on here who have spent their childhood together. I'm sorry. She was talking about them in that moment. In that moment, she was. Kimmy says that she takes her frustrations out on Maurice, and he listens and gets the job done. Tisha reinforces that with Marsau, and Marsau rolls his eyes at Letitia. Tisha asked Marsau if he was getting upset. Well, she asked him, "Are you getting a tude?" And Tisha says she felt his energy shifting and changing. Kimmy then said, "Oh, this is a Scott Brothers issue. They both act the same," which I thought was wild. Butterfly, what you think about that craziness?
I think
all in unity.
Yeah, Tisha's not over that office because she did bring it back to so you make a complaint and he gets it done.
Right.
Is that what you're saying, Kimmy? Kimmy's, she's trying to not make it seem like she don't want to co-sign, but that's it. Shoot.
Yep. Passion says, darn well this part with all four was self-produced, beginning with him and his coffee cup. He straight up laid on the sword to get heat off Tisha. Well done. I guess if you look at it that way, I don't know. I think the heat is probably still on both of them because I've already tapped Tisha's hand about 4 or 5 times today. You hadn't seen me post this about 6 times. Too much work. Anywho, the brothers go outside. Marsau asks, what else is he doing? Does she think he is at home playing video games? He said he's been working on getting his son into Auburn, working on Whitehall, working on The Office, building Scott Manor. And this is what I have to say to all of that. That sounds like bullshit to me. What you think about that, bud?
It definitely sounds like bull ain't lane to me because last time I checked, Tisha was the one that took that baby on his college tour. Marsau was nowhere around. Marsau said out his own mouth when it comes to their education, he don't want to be contacted. He don't want to be involved. So I just find that odd.
I totally agree. Now, we know that Jordan Lane is not finished. We know Whitehall is not finished. I think The Office is now completed, but Scott Manor is not finished either. So you can't be working on all these things and none of them get done. So let's revert back to what Tisha is saying at the beginning, that you're not getting the work done. She said that at the last episode as well, that you are not completing the work that Skolt has bids and offers for. Look at Kimmy. She drained from having to literally say stupid ish with the brothers. Tisha, it takes time, my God. If you would like to donate to the channel, please tap the on the bottom of the screen. Greatly appreciated, but never demanded. Trust me, at all. Marsau could have helped writing applications or other things as far as getting MJ into Auburn. He could have. Do I think he did? Probably not. Moving forward.
I don't think he did neither. He didn't even know his son was allergic to peanut butter. Right. Girl.
You got a kid with a 4.0. He probably knows most. Let me tell you something. I have a daughter who graduated in the top 5% of her class. In fact, I still have her tassels hanging right in front of me on in the shadow box. And the one thing I can tell you, I didn't have to do much for that kid. When I say she was such a self-starter, so much is so now when she comes to me, she's like, Mom, you just kind of always left me out there on my own. I was like, well, you never asked for help. She would go to the school counselors if she needed something, and she would get things done without me always having, because the school offers resources, and she went and got those resources. I told y'all about how this kid, I got my youngest said, "Oh, we're getting discount lunch at school," and I'm like, "How?" And my oldest daughter comes home and says, "Oh, I filled out the paper and signed it. I don't even know what she put on the paper because we were not eligible to get free or discount." But when I tell you, when you got a kid that just goes out there and does it, you don't even ask questions. You just go with it. And I really believe that MJ is probably a self starter, and he has his mom who probably helps him with those things. And not only that, she's an AKA, and we know that AKA do, sororities, fraternities, they primarily help you and walk you through some of those scholarships, and they, once
Mhm.
you get them, they help you. Hey, we need an essay, we need this, we need that. So yeah, I'm not trying to discredit him, saying that he didn't do it. I'm just saying that I don't believe it. Brown Girls Rock
Yeah.
said didn't know MJ was allergic to peanut butter. I totally agree. She said sounds
Okay,
like
listen, Brown Girls Rock. Me and you was thinking the same goddamn thing because I'm like, girl, we didn't even know the boy was allergic to peanut butter. Come
yep. Butterfly. Uh-oh,
I'm
something
here,
happened to
babe.
it. Oh, okay. I
No,
thought
I'm
something
here.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm here.
Terry said, I'm sorry again. What does he want? A cookie for doing his job as a husband and father? Exactly. Exactly. I couldn't understand that part. But what he said next, I kinda understood it. So we go back inside to the ladies, and Kimmy tells Tisha that Marsau loves her bathwater. And Tisha says she tries to be the nice Tisha, and he gets nothing done. Tisha said as soon as she asked Marsau a question about a project, he changes. Um, and I'm gonna tell you this: as a married woman,
Her
I know.
project. Don't leave that apart. Don't leave that part out. As soon as she asks him about projects that's concerning her, he changes.
But she mentioned Jordan Lane. She mentioned several different projects, and she said the moment I asked him about the projects with the S, because I when I take my notes, baby, I be reading the caption, and she said he changes. Marceau
Maybe
said,
I need to read the caption because that's what she said when it comes to like when the projects have
she didn't
concern with
say
me.
anything about my. She said whenever Tisha said this soon, and excuse me, some of this between Tisha and Marceau, I tried to go write it verbatim because I didn't want to miss any parts. She said as soon as she asked Marceau a question about a project, he changes, and they go back outside, and Marceau says, "How can they be on the same team if they are not on the same team?" Maurice asked him, "Do you not think that Tisha is your teammate?" And Marceau said, "As a teammate, you don't get to ask, what about my stuff?" Well, what about my stuff? He said, Tisha sees Scolt and Black as being Marceau's stuff, as if she really isn't a part of it. He did mention that. And Marceau says, finally, at Black, he's built a team. And finally, at Scolt, he's built a team. And Marceau says he feels like Tisha shoots down all of the ideas that he brings to her. And that is what makes him feel like she's not a part of his team, or they're not on the same team. And then we go back to Kimmy and Tisha. And Tisha is telling Kimmy about how Marsau lectures her and he doesn't listen. And Kimmy says in her confessional that Maurice does the exact same thing. Tisha said she has told Marsau that she is part of his team. And Maurice said that he believes the issue is inclusion. And Marsau then says that he tells Tisha that there isn't anything that he has that she is not a part of, and is not on. So she tries to create her own glory because she feels like she's not a part of Marsau's glory. I'm gonna stop it right there. Butterfly, give me your take on it because we got a bunch of comments that have popped in.
Um, back to what I said. I believe he believes that And here's where I think he's failing to realize. I don't think Tisha goes into Black and does the day-to-day running of Black. Marsau does that. I don't think Tisha goes into Skull and does the day-to-day running of Skull. Marsau does that. So I don't understand why he don't see. I don't think it's her wanting glory so much, not in the team aspect, but it's her wanting glory that she also brought something to the family, to the table for the family. And I think that's the part Marsau is not understanding. Like, yeah, her name is on that on everything, but you run the day-to-day operations on both of them companies.
Correct.
So I don't
And he
understand
said
why
that.
you're not understanding what Letitia is talking about, where this is something that she wants to be able to bring to the family and say that I brought, for our family. And I don't understand why he's not getting it.
I think this is just my personal opinion. I believe Marsau feels. Let's keep on reading, and then I'll get into what I believe, because I don't want to I don't want to misspeak before we get to that part. They all said Marsau trolls with the negligent father stuff. He's not really like that. I believe that he's very present. I do believe he's very present. She wants something of her own, as she should. That's the point of Scott Realty. Exactly. I agree with that symmetry as well. He talks about her trying to create her own glory. Marsau says that they didn't create this 5-year plan because of Marsau. So remember, he's gone back to the 5-year plan. And I believe the 5-year plan is why he's resentful. Marsau says that this was something that Tisha wanted. Tisha was working, and he said she was calling him every day saying that she didn't want to be there. She wanted to quit. She didn't want to be at that job. Marsau said that he was working 2 to 3 jobs so that she could be at home. And then it was, I'm tired of this 5-year plan. And this is where resentful sticks in. I've done what you asked me to do. I've done my part, and now you're reneging on your part. Not saying it's right or wrong, but this is where the resentment comes in. He said, I'm going to do something different, is what Tisha told him. She went to school. He said he was okay with that because he realized that was something that could help them both in their business. She wanted to be a real estate agent. He realized that was something that could help them both. Tisha says she feels like this is a new era for her and Marsau. Maurice said that Tisha is thinking about the future. Their first child is off in school. And Marsau said it is a new time for him as well. What does life look like for them after the kids are gone? Marsau said it was him second guessing their partnership together. And Maurice said, are you talking about marriage? And Marsau said, I won't go there. And then it was the end of the episode. I believe, with all actuality, Marsau is upset because Tisha didn't stick with the 5-year plan. The 5-year plan was for her to stay at home, get the kids to a certain age, and then they would move forward. Tisha has done everything but the 5-year plan while he was out here, and he feels like he was busting his butt working 2 or 3 jobs. And if you know men, if they do one thing, they feel like they've done all things. My husband washes dishes once a month. And I promise you, he tells everybody across the world that he washes dishes every single night. And when he washes those dishes once a month, I have to take them back out and rewash them. Trust me, every single one of them. And that is just what men do. I'm going to back up and let Butterfly have a talk.
And here's where I have a problem at. Now, are we renewing the 5-year plans every 5 years? Because I feel like she did complete her portion of the 5-year plan. She got majority of the kids through the school. Y'all only got one more. Technically, because what was the oldest? Macy? Macy about to head into high school. And me, like, I don't know. I don't know. I still don't get where Marsau's coming from. I feel like Letitia did complete the 5-year plan.
She didn't. Let's talk about that 5-year plan.
Okay.
If you go back to probably season 1 or 2, because these seasons extend, so it's kind of hard to remember which one it was. But Tisha appears at a beauty shop, and she's pushing a baby in a stroller, which is her youngest child. and she was less than, I think that's Mila's the youngest, right? I think Mila's the youngest. She's pushing the baby in the stroller, and the baby is still breastfeeding. So she's less than 1 years old, is what I would take that as. At that time, she was talking to Mel about getting out here and meeting people. And this is when Tisha actually got the deal for Marsau to build the hotel. The baby was not 2 when this happened. So she didn't stick with the 5-year plan. Marsau said he was out here busting his ass working 2 or 3 jobs. Again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. What I'm saying is that is where the resentment comes from. He held up his part of the bargain and she did not. That's it.
Lady, bro, do you sure you got the timeline right with the baby's age? Because she was no baby when they started. That girl was at least 4 or 5 years old.
No, she wasn't. Let me see if I can find that actual. Let me see. They
You
started in
sure?
2019. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and talk while
I
I
do
search.
not recall that girl being no baby on that show. I
She
really
was in the
don't.
stroller, and she was still talking about breastfeeding. Go ahead and talk while I'm gonna look up their ages, Butterfly, if you don't mind talking for a minute.
Okay. I man, I don't know. I don't recall her starting as no baby. But I think that's when she went back for what, her second master's. Cause Tisha got what, 4 masters? Or do she got 2 bachelors and 2 masters?
She has 2 masters, 1 bachelor's, 1 undergrad, 2
Okay,
grad.
okay,
Okay, so
okay.
Mila is 11. She was born in 2014. And when did they start filming this? Now we did hear the gentleman
2018,
18.
2018. Yeah.
Mhm. So she was, yeah, you're right. She was either 3 or 4. I know she was in a stroller, and she mentioned
Okay. I'm like,
about breastfeeding her baby in there, or something about. I want to say she said breastfeeding. I may be wrong. But I'm just thinking that's still not the 5-year plan. And again, I believe when she got out here and started moving and shaking with the cast member was no longer on the show, I believe that started the resentment. And it's been building up. And if you know men, they build up over time, their anger. It builds up over time. Because when they get mad at you, they're gonna remind you of the old and the new.
right, but here's the issue I have with him, with her not fulfilling the plan, right? So there's things that I feel like he done did that stepped out of maybe the 5-year plan. I don't think she had it in the 5-year plan for him to take off to Africa without even telling her, letting her know. Or even this Rome trip that he just took with MJ. She said that she put that on the list for something they want to do with the family. He decides to make it something for him and MJ. So it's like Marsau steps outside plans too. I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
I agree with you. I'm with you 100%. Actually, I talked about that when we first started. When he came into the office and she was down there working with the spackle, she said, where is it? I want to read it. She said, how was your trip? He got in late, so I couldn't pick you up. And he said it was his first time going to Europe. Tisha said, you do know I was planning this trip for Christmas. Marsau has sent her a list of different places. And Marsau chimes in with, yeah, I want to do that for our 20th.
There you go, right there.
Yeah, I agree. Someone just said Marsau is
Mhm.
terrible at communicating. It's still not clear what exactly he wants. I agree with that. That's why I say he needs to be on someone's sofa, because his mind is in several different places. She didn't keep her 5-year agreement. She feels like she's not a part of anything. So now she wants her own glory because she feels like he's getting his own glory. I think that he needs to go work through whatever issues these are, because he got some issues.
I tell you, and like I said, it's all boiled back down to control. The mere fact that he said, "I'm the leader. You listen to what I tell you to do," and that's the end of it. It's all control. And like I said, like you said, I kind of agree with you. He do need to go lay on the couch somewhere, because I think that all boils back down to their childhood.
No, I agree.
And
I agree.
because I don't, he has a real issue with needing to be able to control her. And I don't understand what I like. There's something there with that. Because everything to me sounds like he was complaining about it's still about him. But all the while he trying to make it seem like she's being selfish. And it absolutely is coming off like he's selfish.
Right. Yeah. So if the show came on in 2018, they probably started filming around 2017. So either way it goes, their child was, because I'm telling you, she was pushing a stroller. She goes into the beauty shop. Kimmy was getting her hair done. And they have a conversation about the baby. And it wasn't long after that that Tisha started moving and shaking, and she got him that contract to do the hotel. So you said that, wait, it was 5 years ago from the first child. No, the first child she was working. So apparently she was working right before this show started, I guess. And he said she hated it and she wanted to go home and raise the kids. And that was something that they um agreed upon, was that he would work 2 to 3 jobs so she could go home. So I'm not sure how soon that was before the show started. Girlfriend says that breastfeeding her baby was when her pills went missing after having her baby. That's what I thought it was. I can remember her with the stroller and the baby on one of the episodes. They were at a beauty shop. I wish I could remember what season it was. I want to say it was either first or second season, but it was her youngest baby was in the stroller. And then at one point she took the stroller to one of the meetings they had with the combat group. And remember, Mill acted a whole fool because she brought all the kids. Just too much. Ouch,
Right.
breastfeeding.
But to be okay with her kid when it was time for their kids to show up there.
Right. Hey, Millie Love James. Instead of saying what he wants, he does mean stuff like solo vacations, vasectomy, etc. Child. And that's what I don't understand, Sarah Lee. Why in the world does he show up as a jerk instead of speaking to his wife? But maybe he just has a communication issue, which means he needs to really go lay on the sofa and have a communication with the therapist or the doctor. The trip to Rome was a graduation trip. They went to see Kendrick Lamar. Baby, apparently, let me read this again for you. Tisha tells Marsau, you do know I had that on our list for Christmas. She was expecting to go to Rome or to Italy for a Christmas vacation. And Marsau took it upon himself to take his son to Rome. And why you didn't take the mama? The mama was just as involved in making MJ as Marsau was. Sorry. Just let's keep it 100. You said, remember, he did say that they were from the other side of the tracks. Because he thinks he's better than she is. In fact, Marsau thinks he's better than everybody. He really, really does. He said when they were talking about Destiny, Marsau responded with, did you get into it with Destiny? That's my question. Tisha said, yeah, she said she and Destiny did exchange words. And Tisha said it took a turn at the party when Destiny said your husband don't protect you or I protect you against your husband. Tessie said Tisha said Destiny was trying to get her out of character. Marsau responded with, did she get you out of character? Tisha said, yeah, it's crazy. Marsau asked her, is that what she wanted? Tisha said, no, that's not what I want. Marsau said, is that not frustrating or exhausting to you to always be fighting with others? Tisha is over talking him and saying, that is what it is, Marsau. And Marsau said, you were planning to get into it with Destiny. And Tisha said, no, I wasn't planning to get into it with her. I was planning on talking with Destiny. And Marsau said, this is not how we do things, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get to the part where he pretty much says that Destiny is beneath him. Pretty much is what he said. Here he goes. He says, Tisha said, she brought my husband into this situation. And Marsau interrupts her and says, you don't have to defend me to a woman who doesn't have a husband and runs through men like crazy. You don't have to defend me to that. You don't have to defend me to that because I would defend myself to that. Because he thinks he's better than all of the people, including Destiny and probably everybody else he's run across. Marsau is a male chauvinist pig. He just is. Millie Love James, I agree with you. Can't stand a controlling man. I'm sorry, Butterfly.
Fine. Oh, you're fine, babe. Yeah. My soul's girl, as you can see, I'm just trying. I don't speechless, buttercups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went off the other day. I really don't want to get ignorant, so I just like I can't. I don't. I can't. And I do like the fact that Tisha basically said what it is and what we've been seeing. Like he
Yeah.
talks at her and not with her or to her. You know what I'm saying? And he does make her feel like she can't say, she has to walk on eggshells. She said over the years she has minimized herself for Marsau's ego.
Definitely.
She definitely admitted that she's minimized, shrunk herself for Marsau's ego, which is not like that's why I'm just like, this dude is absolutely selfish. And the way he does communicate with her is very like much like that's his child and not his wife. And he really does think that he has the final say, and he don't really care about nothing about her input or what she has to do, because he don't believe that after the time she knows what she's talking about. That's what it's giving.
Yeah.
Like you said, you think he's the smartest person in the room.
He think you're right about that. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room. Passion said we want to root for them, but let's face it, for whatever reason, their truth in life is too embarrassing, or they're more okay with just keeping the story up. That's taking a toll on both of them carrying that. I agree with that. I think what we're watching with them is them. They're tired. They're tired of whatever they're trying to put up, the facade, whatever it looks like. I think they're just tired of it all. I really do, and I think it's coming out as anger for both Marsau and Letitia. I think Marsau is just who he is. This is who we've seen him to be. This is who he has shown up as on our TV shows for a very long time. Very long time. Even when the other cast member was there, he showed up as this individual. Queen Script said he talks down to her, his tone, body language, ridiculous. Definitely. 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 Said to the point of her defending Marsau, I didn't see Tisha as defending Marsau. Tisha was pointing out that Destiny was going blow. She didn't say anything in defense of him. She said she doesn't go low. You mean Tisha doesn't go low? But in this low?
I have never talked about you to any of the ladies and laugh about you with any of the ladies. Even when your mugshot was out there, I'm defending you to people.
Every time you put something,
you can't see it.
No, every time you put something on the screen, it's like black and then it disappears. I don't know if I'm.
Can y'all see it? I'm gonna post this again.
Even when your mugshot was out there, I'm defending you to people. I'm not.
So let me tell you something. Low is low. You can't upset someone. I'm gonna use the words of Funky Dineva. You can't piss me off and then tell me how mad to get. Destiny went low, but Tisha, I believe, went low as well. They both have done wrong when it comes to their relationship that we've seen on this TV screen. I believe they both have said things that they can't take back. Her saying, "Oh, I defended you when your mugshot was out here," and then Destiny say, "I defend you. The only person I protected you is your husband. I had to defend you against your husband." It's same low, same low. We can't. It's potato. It's about the same. Wonder if his weight loss made him an asshole. Child, brown girls rock. Maybe so. But I'm gonna tell you, my best friends say this all the time. It don't take but one girl to tell one ugly man that he look good, and you'll never be able to change his mind. I'll just tell you, it's my best friend been saying that since we were teenagers, and I believe. Sad baby doll said that's the reason why I wanted to stay digging in his ass. I know that's right. I think folks aren't used to seeing long-term married couples. Folks are thinking this is diabolical, but they are really an average couple. Sarah, you think this is average? I've been married for a very long time. Been with my husband 29 years. Been married almost 26. And child, none of that. Now we get into arguments. But some things you just should not say. If he ever asks for his name back, he gonna get it on a silver platter with a bow on it. Trust me, because I don't play them games. Now, people do to you what you allow them to do. That's it.
Absolutely.
They do what you allow them to do.
Absolutely. That's why I said that last week. I think Tisha allowed Marsau to get away with too much, and she allowed him to think he was the prize when she is the prize. You know what I mean? Like, I totally agree, Lady Ro. People definitely only do what you allow them to do. And Tisha has allowed Marsau to do a lot unchecked.
She's made him feel like the leader. That's why he said those words. God is giving you a good man and a good leader. Why won't you let me lead? I mean, he did say that. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, how can two people walk together unless they agree? I can't walk with you if we're not agreeing. It just don't work like that. We got to agree on something, or guess what? We're going to fall apart. You're going to go that way and I'm going to go this way, because we have to agree on some of this stuff. It's just life. You see, I saw it both times. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, the mugshot was a shot. It was a low blow too. So we can't say that one person went low and the other one didn't. They both went low, and they both missed the opportunity to actually apologize. When they went to that open house, they both, instead of sitting down and having a reasonable conversation, it went crazy, because that could have been the opportunity to resolve all of this. But it didn't. It just kept snowballing downhill. And it is what it is. You said that is why he's always questioning her, requiring her to report back any engagement she has, drills it in her head, our 5-year plan. Exactly. Because he's constantly said about this 5-year plan. I didn't realize that how much it must be absorbent in his skin and in his bloodline, because this last part, I believe, he was using his brother as a therapist. He literally was, because Marsau is at a crossroad in life, whatever that looks like. Now, I think they're close to 50. Butterfly, are they close to 50? How old are they? I know they're in their 40s. Did you know they get that 50 year age?
Yeah. I believe they are close to 50. Mm-hmm. I think, they're close to 50.
Men do go through midlife crisis, though. They do.
But I thought that's what the trip to Africa was, because that's what he claimed it was. He was depressed. He was so depressed, he felt overwhelmed, and that's why he decided to take off to Africa without even telling her. So how many midlife crises are they allowed to have? I'm just wondering.
Well, as a clinician, I will tell you this: people who deal with depression, it doesn't just go away. It comes back. It creeps back in over and over again. I'm not giving them no excuse.
No, you're right. No, you're right, because I deal with it too, so I got to be fair on that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not giving him no excuse.
Now, if you say depression, that's different. Yeah. But he said midlife crisis. And he didn't in that it was a part of a depression that he was going through. Okay, you're right. Okay.
I would say if it was a midlife crisis, that's on him. If he done went through it, he ought to be done with it, unless he's stuck in a rut. But as far as depression does come and go. And I believe what he was, just listen to his words, talking to Maurice. I believe he's frustrated, and some of his frustration may be coming from internal. You have all these things that you may feel like you're being pulled in every direction. Like I used example about my husband washing dishes probably once a month. I say once a month, probably once every 2 or 3 months. But if you let him sit down and talk with a bunch of men, he's going to say, I have to wash dishes every day. And I'll be looking across the room with him like, I know you. Wait till we get in this car. I'm going to get you. You know, good and well, you don't wash dishes every day. But I mean, if he gets sick, the house has to literally, I'm telling you, if you're with a man, be with a man any significant amount of time, when they get sick, baby, the house has to shut down. But you better not get sick, because you're expected to get up, wash dishes, clean, cook dinner, and all the things that you normally do. That's just how men are. And it's unfortunate, but that's the truth. The husband wants to run the show and the wife wants to find herself more. Same story, different couple. I agree, Sarah. You're probably right about that, because relationships are about giving and taking. And as a woman who's been married for, it seems like forever, you always feel like you're the one doing all the giving and they're doing all the taking, literally. And I think that goes on both sides. Me and my husband sat down one night and I was like, I feel like I'm always the one giving. And he said, I feel like I'm all the way, the one, always the one giving. And I think we both kind of sat down and was like, And no, now both of us can't be feeling like we the only one giving. And he said, you're right. He said, if you feel that way and I feel that way, then we're missing something. We need to figure out what we're missing. So I think that may be a key to what life is really about when it comes to relationships and long-term marriages. Um, when's the last time he kissed her, sacred, or just said, baby, I'm proud of you? That's true passion. Maybe he isn't doing those things. Maybe he is, because this is a woman who wanted to repeat her vows, and he did what to her? Told her no, embarrassed her. And I wasn't they in Vegas when that happened, Butterfly? When he refused to repeat the
Yes, they
vow?
was. Yeah. And I thought that was just so
That was so
oh.
embarrassing to me. Oh my God, that was so embarrassing to me. Yeah. I think Marsau plays for the TV. I agree. That was true mind effery. I agree with that for sure. I wasn't talking about whether they both went low. I'm pointing out that Tisha wasn't defending Marsau. Yeah, I agree with that. She wasn't defending him. Um, but she told him she was when she in the conversation. And he told her, "I don't want you to defend me." He's close to 50. Yeah, girlfriends. I figured he was. And gentlemen, when they get in their late 40s, just like women, they start rethinking: Have I done what I meant to do in life? Is this what I was supposed to do? And it causes sometimes them to act out and behave differently. And I think that may be where Marsau is. I'm not giving him a pass. Trust me, I'm not. I'm holding his feet to the fire because he's a total jerk with the way he treats his wife. But he really is just a butthole. Sorry. I agree. Millie Love James. I definitely agree with that. Say baby doll, that is true. And it is also after Tisha put Destiny in the hoe box. What does Satin say? Also, right before they went to Detroit, Tisha was cool with Destiny, which was a few episodes before. Well, as we see, they kind of got along at the boxing thing, right? But they're gonna fall out again. They're gonna have some more knockout dragouts. African Rome was where he put it, before a midday surprise, and it had nothing to do with her. Yeah, I think he's the jerk for that. Hey, Susie. Good evening. Marsau continuously disrespects Letitia on national TV. He's losing control and refuses to allow his wife to have her own identity and to mature, in my opinion. I agree with you 100%. Butterfly, you got anything you want to say before we wrap it up? We've been out here almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I definitely. I told you, I feel like for him it's a control thing, and I feel like he feel like he's losing it. And Marsau really wants somebody that he can just run over and run. He don't want nobody that has a mind of their own. He should have married homegirl from Coming to America. I don't know. You just jump like a dog. Ruff, ruff, ruff. That's the type of woman Marsau wants, and that's just like I said, very misogynistic. And not like I said, I think even if he does have the final say, you supposed to go over. You supposed to go over, what your wife wants. So because your final say is supposed to compromise for both of y'all. So the fact that you don't even want her input at all, is just do what I say and that's it. I don't care what you got to say. It's just yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I agree with that. I believe that he definitely needs to take into consideration what she wants. And unfortunately, she may have to break out and just show him what she wants, because he thinks it's a game that would, oh, did you finish up your part on The Office? You better get in there and fix that office. Passion said, Tisha, in my opinion, is a beautiful woman, tight body, smart, and they have daughters. He's showing the wrong interpretation of how women should be valued. I agree. But when he sat down and talked with Macy on the porch that day, their conversation I thought was really, really cute. And sometimes I do wonder, are they putting on for the TV show? Because their conversation back and forth about boyfriends was really, it was really heartfelt. You know what I mean? But I guess you can't be heartfelt and be a jerk at the same time. But how you start it is how you finish it. You have to teach people how to treat you. Tisha allowed Marsau to gaslight her for so long, and now she wants to stand up. I agree with that, Satin. I do. I think Marsau tames Tisha. If Kimmy wouldn't have stopped her, she would have been another black woman fist fight on national television. Yeah, I wondered that too. I wondered was she really gonna fight, or was she just gonna get in Destiny's face, and that probably would have caused the fight.
Yeah, yeah, I would hope Tisha wouldn't have took it that far.
Yeah,
But then again, I don't know because she felt pretty cut by what Destiny said. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
and
I
she
think
was real
that,
calm too. And that usually when people are calm before the, you know what I'm saying? Because she was real calm. The girl was, first of all, she was flabbergasted. She was gagged. She didn't even know what to say. So I do believe. I don't know, Tisha. I don't know, Tisha.
oh yeah, I saw somebody posted up earlier in the chat. It said that Tisha, they did say Kiki said that Tisha was hood rat and would fight like a hood rat or something like that. I forgot what it said. I didn't read it out loud, but I did read what it said. But I will say this: I would hope Tisha wouldn't fight, but I really wondered. She was super calm, but going up in another person's face, you don't know what the outcome would have been. So I am glad that Kimmy grabbed her and was like, come on back. Michelle said, I love to see what their real life friends say about them. I wonder if they say the same things. I wonder too. Miss Wanda often says that Tisha's friends really love her and that she's had friends for a long, long time. We can't forget that she's part of AKA and she's active. So we do know that
I
she
was
does
about to
have
say,
a lot of friends.
yeah, I think she does have a strong friend
Mhm.
group
Mhm.
because she goes on she does a lot of things with her friend group. The
Definitely,
ones that we
definitely.
don't see on the show.
Yeah.
She
Yeah, they do
definitely has
travel.
shit on social media. So I do
Mhm.
think she has a strong, solid friend group outside the show.
I agree. I agree. And the kids see that too. I agree. Susie said Marsau does not like pushback or questions about Tisha's projects. He don't want questions about none of the projects. Tisha said when she asked him about projects, he gets livid. And she said she asked him about Jordan Lane and he got mad. So I really think that Marceau really, really, really is frustrated at this point. That's why I say he needs to see a therapist. Michelle, the one who should have straightened out was the BB, the one who she should have. Yeah, I agree with that, baby. She should have took her through there, but
Took
she
her
did.
through there, took her through there. Baby, when I tell you, that's why I'm like, both of them is
I'm
just
glad they
like,
didn't.
I understand you pick your battles, but I don't think Destiny's a battle that's even really a battle. It's kind of
Mhm.
like we watch y'all allow somebody else to decimate y'all and tarnish y'all and give your business a bad name, calling down to the city. There was so many things done by this lady, but the energy that it's just I don't know. I don't understand.
Butterfly.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry. I'm here, babe.
okay, you
I
gotta
went
say
on
that
mute
one
because
bit.
I'm just like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Michelle says I think you can tell how stable a family is by their children. They are raising 3 straight A students, and that's not a sign of unstable family life. I totally agree with that. I
No,
totally
no,
agree.
that's the thing. But I think Tisha has made a lot of sacrifices for it to be stable like that. I
Mm.
don't think
Oh, of
Marcel.
course, of course she
Yeah,
has.
I think it came with a lot of Tisha sacrificing. I don't know. I
You
could be
you
wrong.
don't pack
Yeah.
up and go to Africa and your children be straight A students. I'm sorry. You just don't. You don't pack up and leave, and all of a sudden your kids are straight. There's somebody else that's behind her pulling some strings. Susie said he's in over his head and he's spiraling out of control, and he's taking it out on his wife from national TV. I know she means on national TV. I should go to therapy. If not, when those kids leave for college, it's a wrap. Ooh, Susie, girl, you might be right. You might be knocking on that door, baby. I'm talking about their couple friends. I wonder if people they hang out in real life see their relationship as it plays out on TV. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like because I have seen her with a lot of their friends. And I will tell you this: when I do see them together, they look happy. You see them at Black taking pictures. Even the picture that I have on my thumbnail, I had to actually put that crook in there so that they could be split up because they were all up on each other on that. The Scots have been determined to stay the course. Hope they get through this. Me too, and I think they will. I think they will. Hope they can work it out for this coming season. I know Des has done interviews, but hopefully they really try to work it out. I believe they will. I believe we keep on watching. I believe Destiny and Tisha will be okay. That's my personal opinion, but I believe they will. Unfortunately, when the children grow up, sometimes the parents fall out of love because they focus too much on their kids, but don't like each other anymore. What happens? Ooh, Susie, now that's a heavy one, and I know several of my
Yes.
friends who've gone through that, and it is difficult. It is a difficult place.
Yeah.
It is. It's difficult. I have enjoyed this. I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was good. Um,
Yep.
it was worth watching. I really want to see what's up next for the Scots. 1.0. 2.0, yeah, they hadn't really been given a whole lot, which is probably good. But they're getting ready to go on a trip, so we'll see what they're going to give us on the trip. This happened with a couple of my close friends. Susie, I have a couple that have gone through that as well. Kids got grown. You put so much into your kids, especially if you have children before you get married or pregnant while married, while pregnant during the marriage. Like I go get married and I'm already pregnant. I find that those people are the ones they really don't get a chance to know their spouse very well. And those are the ones who's put so much to their kids, and sometimes they don't even make it to the kid. The marriage doesn't even get to see the kids into graduation of high school. So I applaud the Scots for they do have three seem like all around good kids that are very active in the community. And they have a son who just finished his first year of college, was on the dean list. And I believe he had a 4.0. So shout out to him.
Yeah, MJ did really good. Now that's why I said, and this is why it crushes me, because I do think they did an excellent job with raising their kids. And I think both of them, obviously it has to take both of them.
Oh,
But
great.
yeah, so I don't never want nobody to think, I think what they're going through is different than what they put into their children as a family. You know what
Also,
I mean?
I want you guys to think about something too. As these men show up as male chauvinists, right? Marsau, Maurice. There was a video, a picture, a mural, I believe, that they have on the side of Black is of the male Scott boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Misogyny sometimes shows up as let me get my boy to adulthood. Is that why Marsau is, you know, second guessing his relationship? My boy's grown now. I think it's just a lot to unpack there. So
Yeah, they put a lot of stock in the boys. They absolutely
mhm,
do. Now I
mhm.
don't know, because I also feel like I think that, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah. I don't know. That's just something I kind of thought about. Has he just been sticking around for MJ to become an adult, and now you want to act a fool with your wife? I don't know. I don't know. That's just a hypothetical. That's an allegedly or whatever you want to call it. Um, but yeah, I that did cross my mind when I thought about that. So it is what it is.
That's why I just feel like more so. I feel like in his mind, he got it that Tisha finding herself, like I said, once again, is going to take away something from him, or something that she provides for him in the marriage. And I feel like I don't. I trying to figure out why would he feel like that? Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because truth be told, especially compared to today's type of marriages and women, Tisha is pretty submissive. You know what I'm
Very,
saying?
very.
You know what I'm saying? So I just don't. What is I feel like there's a fear he has there of her finding herself, and I don't understand. Where's the disconnection where he don't feel like if she finds herself, it will also still add to their marriage and just
Right.
make her a better wife and mother, or whatever she feeling like she needs to find, because they got married pretty young. Then they get
Mhm.
married fresh out of college. They got married young.
Right. Yeah.
You know
Fresh
what
out
I'm
of
saying? So I think it's a matter of both of them trying to find themselves. So now
Mhm.
I'm wondering, does myself feel like, well, I didn't get to take the time to find myself, so why are you getting to take the time to find yourself, type of thing? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
I think Michelle put in the chat earlier that working for yourself beats working for someone. So I do understand, and I think Marsau needs to look at it that way. Your 5-year plan may not have worked out the way you want, whatever your 5-year plan looked like. But Tisha's not hitting a time clock. He has the autonomy to do several things throughout the day. Maybe look at a house, sell a house, and then be able to be there to pick up her kids from school and take them to be the PTA mom and be the track mom and be the cheerleading mom and take lunch to school. She has that autonomy. Whereas when you work for a business or a corporation, you don't get that autonomy. So I think all of that has to be taken into consideration. That's because they had been. We know the story already. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if anybody watched this, but I want you to watch this because I did not see this, or either I didn't pay attention. But I want y'all to hear this real quick, and then we're gonna summarize this up.
Everybody in, and she was like, "Well, what box I'm in?" I said, "Don't trust that whole box." And I was like, "I'm just playing." She's like, "Really, really?" I was like, "I'm just playing."
Did y'all hear Tisha say that she was just playing when she put Destiny in that hole over their box? I didn't realize that she said she was just playing.
No, I don't think she said I was just playing either. I don't. Maybe they edited that part out because I don't recall her stressing that she was playing either.
Right, because she said it twice. You just heard that. I was just playing. Right. And he said, "Did you mean?"
I think Destiny asked her to clarify what did she just say. Yeah. So I don't recall her ever saying I'm just playing.
So if she was just playing about that, really makes me wish that these two had sat down and really had that hard conversation. Because I don't remember. I'm gonna play that one more time because I pulled this off of the website because I went straight to the own website and got this because I really wasn't looking for this. I was looking for something else, but it ran across this. I was like, I don't remember hearing that. Play it again.
Everybody in, and she was like, "Well, what box I'm in?" I said, "Don't trust that whole box." And I was like, "I'm just playing." She's like, "Really, really?" I was like, "I'm just playing."
Yeah, I think they must have edited that out because I don't ever remember hearing her say I was just playing.
I don't even remember her having a smile on her face when she said it either. Yeah. Like, even if we didn't hear her say it, we didn't. The facial, the body language didn't come off as I'm just playing. Girl, it came off like you was dead serious in a heart attack, but maybe they did edit wrong.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember hearing
it. But that's why I feel like Tisha needed to take accountability. You said that to take a day. You did.
Yeah.
It's okay to admit that at this point, T. Yeah, girl, just admit it. You did that to take a dig. And I don't see how you don't see how that's serious. As a woman, all we have, our body is our temple. That's true. I don't see how you would think that wouldn't be taken. Why that wouldn't be it? Like, how is your marriage more important than my actual being?
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how you measure that out like that.
Mm-hmm. And especially since this is something that is a running joke among this group, this friend group. Right. You have this one saying this and this one saying that, and I've been trying to fight this to say this is not who I am, but y'all keep saying it over and over. Right.
And it don't help the Fletchers over here inviting me over here to meet about somebody they claim was their godson. Come to find out, it's just a stranger that they picked up off the side of the curb and made their god. Like, it's just a lie. It's a lie. Mm-hmm. It's a lie. Well, so Michelle, I think Tisha knew what she was doing when she did that.
Oh,
that's
definitely.
Why I was like, Tisha,
I'm with you on that. Yeah. I'm with you on that one, Butterfly. Michelle, she said I didn't say it like that. Remember when they were at the table? But I never saw the scene with her and Marsau when she said, "I was just playing." I don't remember ever seeing that scene on that episode. So yeah, I think that may have been edited.
I don't remember her saying it at the table when
I remember her saying it. She said, "I didn't mean it like that." That's what she said to when they were at that table. When she said, "You called me a hoe," and she said, "I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that." But I definitely understand Destiny's part. I've worked hard to try to clear my name. You know what I've dealt with using, with this ex and what I've gone through with him. So it was really disheartening to hear you out here calling me a 504. So yeah, definitely that.
Right.
I have
So then
enjoyed.
you throwing it in the same context as you don't feel like you can trust me. Like that's all type of files. Come on. That's all type of
Definitely
files.
that. Yes, ma'am. Definitely that. You guys, thank you so much for thumbing up this video. If you're on Butterflies Live, please hit that like button. If you're on mine, please hit that like button. Thank you guys for coming into the chat. I really, really appreciate it. What did she say? Symmetry, I believe that it was edited out. I believe so too, Symmetry, because I've never seen it until today. Never saw it until today, and I
Okay.
pulled it off of the own network site. That's why you shouldn't say you're dating all these men. Yeah, Sarah, I believe people say
Yeah.
but that's just me. Have a great night to you all. Thanks, Shayna. Thank you for stepping in, and thank you for picking up that wrench. Again, remember Destiny's Law Foundation. Please, if you have an opportunity, go visit the website. Send out some positive vibes to Destiny's Law Foundation. And if you have the means, donate. Y'all have a great night. Butterfly, you have anything else you want to say before we go?
No, babe. Just thank you for having me. I apologize about my tardiness. Girl, you should have seen the way I woke up out my sleep. Like,
I appreciate
on my sleep. I was like, girl, what you know? I just woke up like, oh my God, what time is it? I was like, ah. So I do apologize. Thank you so much, though, because I really want, I love doing a review with you. And I think that for me, that'll make sure I stay on top of getting the review out, because you know me, girl. So I think as long as I do it with you, I'll stay on top of it, because I know
and I
don't want to
definitely
disappoint
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you this.
In my head, I'm like, I don't want to disappoint Lady Bro. Get my behind over here. Yeah.
Women, I want you to
Absolutely.
remember your worth. Women, we are all beautiful beings. God created us in such a loving way and a loving manner that you don't have to accept just anything. If someone tells you to give their name back, give it to them. Don't second guess yourself. If things are not working out in your favor and you think that it is so egregious to who you really are, walk away. Your dignity is worth so much more. If no one told you today that they love you, I love you, and there ain't a thing you can do about it, please, please, please support Destiny's Law Foundation. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. Love Lane Butterflies.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Bye-bye, y'all.